everybody, selfie mode, Calm Biker here, just in the garage, and it's a bit of a tip in here, let me show you. This end's kind of normal, got the bike with its little screen on, come back to that in a minute, but bit of a divider up at the minute, and a bit of a tip. Doing some refurbishment work on the centre stand of the Honda. So currently it's in primer, going to get that painted up soon. It was starting to rust, so I needed it all cleaned up a bit. And I got the chance to use my little HVLP gun. There it is. Should really take the end off that and put it inside the little cup. But anyway, that's not why I'm in here. I'm in here because of this. Can you guess what it is yet? And this. Which is actually, I think, this. Can you guess what it is yet? It is, well, I'm going to show you it on here, but this is clearly wrong. It is one of those little add-on screen thingamajiggies. But it's not going on that screen, it's going on the big screen. So I'm going to see if I can eliminate a bit of wind noise using one of these, because quite a few people, Tosh being one, Bandit Neff being another, mention these little doodads. Tosh has a Vario screen that he gets on really well with. This is a very cheap Chinese screened thing. The whole thing was about 20 quid. I think about 18.99. So not cheap, but not expensive compared to the alternatives. I think the Varios are about 4 times that. So I thought I'll give this a try. So I'm going to whiz out with that screen on first and get about 20 seconds worth of film. Not film anymore really, is it? Digital recording. And then I'm going to whiz out with the other screen on and get about 20 seconds worth of the same, and then we'll try this and see what difference it makes. Somehow today it feels windier. I don't know if that's actually windier or if I'm just excited and hopeful that the new screen is going to make a big difference. But this will start me off for my comparison, so I can compare the 3 versions again like last time. I won't be comparing it with no screen on at all this time. So for the key bit I'll do this little straight section here up to the 50-mile-an-hour bend. Let's get it 50, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's what it sounds like at 50 miles an hour. I'll head back and swap screens. I'd forgotten just how much screen and bike you could see in front of you when you had this big screen on. It's going to be even more in a few minutes, I guess. But I'm heading back down to that corner again, and as long as these cars don't hold me up, if I'll slow down and let them get away a bit, I'll try that 50-mile-an-hour stretch again for comparison. Okay, so there we are. So for comparison, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, test's done. Time to weigh this little job up. So this is the bracket. There's no instructions with it, but those little bits of rubber fit in there, so I've put them in there, and I guess that goes down over the screen. Let's have a look on the bike. So down over the screen, something like that, with the rubber to protect it, and then this bit will have the screen attached and it kind of moves up and down a bit. I guess that's it really. Well, here we are again. And I've got the screen on, and I hate it already. Oh dear me, I hate it. I've put it in the position where the bottom of the little flippity-floppity bit kind of lines up with the top of the main part of the screen. Only because that's what I've seen on most videos being the best result, but it's too high. It gets in the way. I kind of have to crane my neck over it, and then I'm straight back in the wind flow again. I don't know if it's affecting the wind or not, to be honest, but I do know I hate it. I also think
that I went too cheap. It might have been better if it was a clear one, to be fair, but because I went with a darker tint that doesn't match the screen, it's in the way. But I'm persevering for the minute just to try it out. Yeah, clear one, and maybe I'd have been able to see through it a bit better, but it's still going to interfere with my vision at that height. But no, I hate it because I've gone too cheap. It's clearly way too cheap. I'll explain why after I've done my count to 10, because I'm on that bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, the little adjuster thing, it's got like a clip, and I guess the idea is that you raise the clip, you move it into a position you want it in, and then you close the clip again. But to get it anywhere where I could actually move the clip and get it to lock in place, well, I had to use in the end a long reach socket set and adjust it at the other end with the clip already closed. To get it to grip so the little screen doesn't move, you have to adjust the clip to the point where you can't actually open or close the clip. So adjustability is not its thing. And I don't think it's making any difference to the wind either. I think it's just, yeah, I think too cheap, too rubbish. Usual junk, unfortunately. But I suppose it was worth a try. I will now try and adjust it a bit and see if I can get any improvement. I know that Tosh, I hate it when the sun's this low, I can't even see down the road. I know Tosh has his not really above his main screen, but he says it works brilliantly. But then he has a proper branded Vario screen, not a rubbish Chinese clip-on piece of plastic tut. I need to find out which one you had, Bandit Nev. I know Bandit Nev was real pleased with his. So this is the little clip here. You kind of take my glove off, I think, to have any chance of even getting a finger underneath it. So you've got this clip here. I can't even shift it. And this was the only way, glove on the floor, this was the only way I could get it so it would actually hold the screen was just floppy, was by basically twisting that nut way beyond where it was. It started, yeah, very exciting. It started with that nut right at the end. We can even see the little bit of plastic that's in there to lock it, even that's starting to fall out. But this is pretty terrible. See if I've got something I can jam in it and maybe get a bit of leverage on it. There you go. Key does the job. But essentially it was just like that. And then if you move it down to the bottom, it looks like you've got a nice adjustment on it top to bottom, but if you get it halfway, then you're stuck because this starts to interfere with the stem. So I think it's almost a choice of top or bottom. Let's try it there. Kind of line it up with it. Come on. Now you're pushing the bike over. There. Bit lower. Might not be as much in the way, and you never know, it might work. I may eat my words yet. Probably won't, but I might, you never know. Before anyone says, saw a video, I think it was Roadcraft Nottingham was talking about a screen he had, and I think he was disappointed. He had one that stuck on with sticky pads, which is a bit weird. But in his video he says, before anyone says that this is, at the top it's wonky, it's not. It's just because the camera's on the side of the helmet, it makes it look that way. However, in this case, it is. It is wonky. Oh, he's off again. Wheel spinning his way down a residential street, that's what you want. Alright, let's try it in that slightly lower position. It's a little bit further out of my eye line. Though to be honest, I still think it's too much in my eye line. Although with the sun there, it doesn't really matter because I can't see anything anyway. So I'll go around again, back to the 50 miles an hour bit and the bend, and see what it's like with it in this position. Another bit of comparison. And the idea was to try it in lots of different positions, but it doesn't seem to. It kind of on paper it looks to have a lot of positions, but as I say, once it's on the bike, I think it's pretty limited. Change the angle, put it at the top or the bottom, and that's about your limit. Yeah, there's a whole heap of screen there now, isn't there? Yeah, this bit's. I was going to say this bit's 50, but it's not. It's 40 now. Loose chippings. Oh. Ugh. They've been doing these all around where I live, and the first day they did them, they nearly had me off the bike. They were about half an inch thick and not in the least stuck down. And as I turned into the road where I live, I hit a pile that was just at the edge and the front wheel just slid. I was blooming lucky, I have to say. It was more luck than skill that I stayed on. These are really loose. I suppose I should really talk about how it feels. There's maybe less buffeting, it's maybe smoother air to give it a fair crack of the whip. I'm still getting a lot of wind on my neck, which I guess is coming through that gap maybe. I'm trying to feel where the wind is, and I can feel it around the edges of the screen for sure, a bit of buffeting, and at the top. I guess it's just moved it up in this case, because it's not, you're not getting that kind of rough air down this area. That feels, I mean, you can feel the air coming through there, but it's not particularly turbulent. And up here it is quite a bit more turbulent. I kind of hope the two would offset each other, and aerodynamics is pretty much a dark art, I think. I mean, I know it's not. I know there are some very clever people out there who can understand it all, but I'm not one of them. It's a dark art to me. But I was kind of hoping there'd be some kind of magic would happen. Maybe both of them were creating waves, and the waves would cancel each other out as they reached just in front of my face, and I'd be riding in, well, as if I was in a car, because it'll never happen. I don't think I'd want that, actually. It would be wrong, wouldn't it, to not be able to feel the wind across your helmet. But yeah, I don't think this is doing a great deal. But I'll head once more up that road, count to 10 again, and then I'll put the 3 clips together and we'll see how they sound. It'll be weirdly perverse now, and for some reason the large screen by itself will probably start to sound better than the small screen even after the last experiment. So back on that stretch again, coming up to that corner, and I have to say it's definitely not as good as no screen at all. I wouldn't want to have to ride like this. I wouldn't do an iron butt like this. 24 hours on a bike, I think I'd actually be deaf by the end of it. This is definitely, though I haven't got them in at the minute, this is definitely earplugs territory. So on that 50 stretch, let's get past slow coach here, if I can. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whee! I do like that bend. Now they've resurfaced it. It used to be awful surface. Now they've resurfaced it. It's lovely. It used to bounce around as you went through it, and it'd make me worry about going through it any quicker than about 40, and now it's easy 50. Lovely, lovely, lovely bend. Well, that's the 3 tests done. I'll jump off now and I'll show you what it looks like. I've not really took a good look at it. Go down this side road, get out the way of people. I'll go down here and have a quick look at it. So there it is side on. It doesn't make a great deal of difference to the height really when you're looking at it like this. I kind of expected it to be really ugly, but it's okay. You know, it's kind of there. It's more wonky now, I think, than when I set off. It should be a little bit lower down on that side, but this is snug, so clearly the bracket itself isn't straight. But I can adjust that if I decide to keep it on there. It's kind of alright, isn't it? Nothing special. It's a big old chunk of metal. Soft though. I don't know. I'll compare the noises and see what I think. And to do that, I'll finish off, say my goodbyes, and I'll put the 3 clips together of me counting so we can see the difference between them. So thanks for watching, everyone. Ride safe. And I'll talk to you all again soon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.